Wow, just wow, this blows my mind. This is either some serious conspiracy bait, like they're putting this out there to fucking really mess with people as a joke. This is absolutely fucking insane. I don't usually go for these kind of things, but I wanted to do some research because we've had nuclear threats in the past, like false flag attacks. People have decoded messages and, all these different things. We've had Super Bowls and football stadiums get nuked or blown up in movies and television shows for the longest fucking time. So this potential threat on this kind of event, this kind of day in America is always on the back of people's minds. So today I wanted to look it up because of course we have all this bullshit going on with North Korea, which I don't believe in for 1 second, but that's just my personal take on it. I don't think that it's a threat at all. But I wanted to do some research because if anything, they could create another false flag attack and then still blame it on North Korea. And they're both playing the game so that, they know what's going to happen. So I was looking it up and like instead of a nuclear bomb, I found like first of all, no one, if you try to look up what kind of, apparently we supposedly know the nukes that they have and all the shit, but yet if you try to look up exactly what kind of nukes they have, no information. They can't tell you if they're kiloton, megaton. They just say that they've somehow created miniaturized nuclear warheads. Like, okay, they managed to do that. Why, if other countries could do it without being restricted on resources and money and time and all that other bullshit, why wouldn't we do that? Wouldn't that be more effective? And then just put them on intercontinental ballistic missiles. It's bullshit. But anyways, so apparently they have nuclear warheads is what they have, and then they put them on intercontinental ballistic. I can't even fucking say it right now. They put them on missiles that can, boom, boom, shoot other countries. Anyways, so apparently that's, the whole threat, and they have up to 25 to 60 of them. And apparently if we can see 25 to 60 of them just sitting there in the lot in North Korea, must mean we have some bullshit satellite flying over, which that's not true. But anyways, even if we did, then why not just fucking drop a bomb on their entire stockpile and be done with it? But anyways, all in all, because God forbid, writing news reports about, it's hard to strike fear in the hearts of the people if it's just a 1,000,000-man army or some bullshit. Like they have to have bombs. Anyways, realistically, it's just whatever. But the thing that I found more so than nukes was an EMP. They kept talking about North Korean EMP, blah, 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 blah. And I find it interesting that of all the times in our, like now, with all the stuff that we know it's been going on in the truther movement and all that, when you connect the dots, the symbolism for this year's Super Bowl is pretty goddamn astounding. Okay, we know that sports are faked, we know that they can be staged, and we know that they've been planning some type of staged attack, potentially. What if, of all the times this year, to use the epitome of American, the two American icons, symbols. It's one big American game, and it's also the most viewed Super Bowl ever, like the population, because you have Pennsylvania, which is a huge state, and then you have all of New England. Okay, and the two teams representing both of those is the Patriots. I mean, you can't get any more Americana than that. Patriots, patriotism, it's American. And Eagles. Okay, so Eagles, the American, it's the symbol, it's the iconic emblem of the United States. It's the bird of freedom, okay? So the Eagles versus the Patriots, it's one big Americana game, American specific, right? So how convenient would it be for the for the powers that be to create a false flag attack, make it seem like someone else did it, striking, so there's that. The other thing is that it's taking place in Minneapolis, which is the stadium. This is blowing my mind because I wanted to stretch it. I wanted to just bullshit this as much as I possibly could. And in doing so, I managed to come across something very, very interesting. Okay. I literally specifically searched this quote. If an EMP went off over Minneapolis, what effect would it have? I just wanted to see. Okay. And you get official news things, Daily Mail, KO.K, you get some other thing. The third thing down is an article published in 2015. 2015, that's 3 years ago, right? 3 years ago. So that's what struck me as interesting. I'm like, okay, well, this is 2015. This isn't some... And of all the places, of all the things, the news articles, in 2015, they specifically published a news article quoted, "What if the Hiroshima bomb were dropped on Minneapolis?" Why Minneapolis, of all fucking places? Mind you, this is 2015, so they would have no prior knowledge to what's happening right here, right now, today, unless they're planning something. Of course, and then you go and search these things. They know that people are going to be keywording this. Mind you, 3 years later, you go and keyword something because, and of course, you're going to bring up this article. Third article. This apparently was an article written because it was the 70th anniversary, or the 75th or some anniversary of the Hiroshima bombs. But why would someone publish this article? It's the Star Tribune. Watch how scary this is. Look at that. Look what just happened. An article published in 2015. There's the U.S. Bank Stadium. They start the thing with this. And it's Star Tribune. Look at, what is that? What is that? Look at that. And then they're gonna do a Prince hologram at the halftime show. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Guarantee it's not gonna be a Look at this. Was that not fucking sick? So you click on the website, and the first thing that pops up is the U.S. Bank Stadium, Star Tribune. Why is that page there? It doesn't make any sense. Why is that page there? Isn't that crazy? And they have an article specifically for a nuclear bomb going over Minneapolis. This could be like EMP, nuclear bomb. Ugh, it's just insane. This is just insane. Is that not fucking crazy? There's only one website that's conspiracy, but it's not even a conspiracy website. I thought there would be all these websites like Vigilant Citizen and this and that and blah blah blah. No one else is talking about it. When you look at, usually there's all kinds of websites popping up. There's no websites, no crazy websites. There's a website, Veterans Today. And now that I think about it, that seems like a legitimate website. Like that's a veterans website. And they're talking about false flag Super Bowl nuke alert. Like, why? And it says something, they have a quote here from Trump saying privately that a terror attack could save him and GOP from 2018 election bloodbath, blah, blah. But they do make an interesting point that playing in the Super Bowl just happened to be named after the two leading symbols of jingoistic American militarism, whatever. Anyways, this could be fake news, whatever, with all that bullshit going around. I hate saying that because they want you to get on board with the whole fake news bullshit because it's easier to, you know, you could continue to use your own discernment. It's still something. It's still something. They still want the idea put out there in people's minds, if anything, or someone has the idea. Very interesting thing, but that blew my mind. I was just researching this independently on my own, and I decided to make a video because the moment I clicked on that fucking website and the fucking stadium popped up, like that's the insane, just absolutely insane. I'm gonna proof this real quick. Okay, here we go. Star Tribune. See, isn't that crazy? The Star Tribune, the website responsible. It's like I guess it's their website, and so they're doing this. It's fucking insane. And yet 3 years ago, the Star Tribune posted an article about a nuclear bomb going over Minneapolis, and of all places, did you notice on that map, they specifically highlighted the U.S. Bank Stadium in that map. How long has that stadium been around? Because I was looking up where it was being played, and they were saying that something, when was it built or whatever? Stadium opened in 2016. So they were building it. Why would someone randomly, just because it's the 70th anniversary of the Hiroshima bomb or whatever, which, you know, and they specifically, the students from the Stevens University of Institute of Technology, 2 students specifically create parameters, and they give you links to the Nuke map site. It's like, what is that? How did they do that? It's 2015, and that's an article on which this is a credible website apparently because it's the Star Tribune. So let's click on this now. Same website. Let's see what happens. So this is the cover page. So I guess it's coincidence, you know, it doesn't matter what thing you go to, but it blows my mind that it still popped up, you know, article. That's just, you know, I don't know. I think that's just insane. Like I said, it's a stretch. It's a fucking stretch. It's just coincidence because, but how of all things though, it still poses an interesting thing here that this website that I would find is Star Tribune. It was also the same website that specifically covered that thing. And so, of course, however many years later, it's convenient that they're going to put that up there. It just, it still bothers me. There's something about it that is synchronicity, the synchronicity of the events of that is interesting, even though it is a stretch. It's startling. It's coincidence, but it's a little more so. You know what I mean? It's this. This thing is fucking bullshit. Gets pushback. Why would a hologram of Prince get a pushback? Why? Because Prince is still skeptical of doing things again? Like, what would it be? You know what I mean? Why would, this is retarded. Why would they push this back? It's a fucking hologram. See, that's what I find interesting too. They push isn't sitting well with some. That's bullshit. It's a hologram. They can't. They would just do it, right? You think they'd just be able to just do it, play the hologram. Why does it get a pushback? Was he backing out? Well, Prince said it was demonic. Well, that's interesting. The tribute proved instantly controversial with Prince fans and associates, with many saying their outcry stemmed from Prince himself having called such high-tech efforts demonic. Yeah, well, that's interesting. It's okay. It's gonna be all fucked up. I mean, I knew it was gonna be all fucked up. Whatever the halftime show is this year, it's gonna be really subliminal, really fucked up. Anyways, that's just crazy. I just had to make a video. Possible. It's potential. Although, you know, looking at the map, you know, I don't know. I mean, a nuke, like they showed, you know, wouldn't, it still would have an effect on all of us. It still would have an effect on United States and United States policy and what we're going to do about it and blah, 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 because it's still, you know. But as far as like only things that I'm concerned about was what attack could have an effect on the greater United States. Like, this is going to have outcry, outreach. It's still going to have an effect. You know, one thing anywhere is going to have a domino effect. But as far as a nuke or an EMP, like, you're thinking like, you know, you would think that, you know, the big event, but maybe not. Maybe it won't be a big event. But here it is. You know, if an EMP struck here, you know, what would it do? Or even if just a nuke hit, you know, it would only be, I don't know. But I just think it's interesting. Just potential. I'm sure everyone's getting their videos out there, just getting it. You know, I'm not predicting anything. You know, when I'm not saying, oh yeah, it's imminent. No, you know, I'm sure there's a lot of people just getting their videos out there. They just want to voice their opinion. Like, I just want, you know, to say it. Like, get them out there at a time. You know, we said it, got it off our chest. It's just one of those things. It's not a prediction. Like, I'm not, you know, saying that it's happening or real. I don't know. I'm skeptical, but it's just, I'm just saying, like, I'm sure everyone's gonna be getting their nuke videos out there today before, just to do it. Anyways, here's mine. Nothing special. I wonder what would happen if you specifically go to look up, like, for example, what kind of nukes does the UK have? Spelled nukes with 2 Ks. It's thermonuclear. Notice how, like, what I'm trying to look for is, like, aren't nukes rated by, like, kiloton, megaton, Won't they still do that? Oh, 3 MT, 3. Is that what that means? Megaton? Yeah, okay. So we know. Like, you can look up. This is like evidence to support it potentially being a, you know, a hoax. Now, there's no Wikipedia. Oh, there's a Wikipedia here. Let's see. Apparently, they tested it. Okay, 50. Okay, so they do have a rating. All right, 50 kilotons. They're saying that based off Korea Meteorological Institute. So 50 kiloton. So that's so far their highest yield. This one says 13 to 60. They're saying it's 25 to. Either way, it's just bullshit. The true proliferation of all of this comes from, you know, movies and TV shows. So it's not like, and video games also. So it's not like it's like, you know, a credible thing. It's just more political theater. Let's see what can I look up here? What was one last thing? Oh, this is something that has always interested me. American military masks. Yeah, gas masks. Because you call gas mask, but the one that's the U.S. military, I forget if it's not, like, they're not. The thing that's always worried about me is because it's you know, like, for example, the Israeli gas mask is NBC rated, which means nuclear, biological, chemical. And the thing that's always interested me, because I remember back in, I don't know, back in like 2010, I bought myself one, and I was I was thinking, oh, well, why not buy an American one? And when I looked it up, I didn't want to buy the American one because it wasn't NBC rated. I forget if it was not nuclear rated, and that was something that always interested me, as if we always were either so confident or had foreknowledge that why would the most strongest force, why would the American armed force, that the people that you think are going to be around, why would they not worry about biological? So apparently, okay, it is safe, various used by the US and its allies to protect from field concentrations of chemical and biological agents, along with radiological fallout particles. Okay. All right, so it is NBC rated. I just want to double check that. It's nothing special, important, but it's the M17, M40 USB. Replaced by the M50. So now they use the M50. Brazil, Iraq, United States. Okay, so it is NBC. All right. Interesting. So maybe, forget which one it was. I think maybe it was because they were selling. I don't think they were selling these. It was a while ago, so I think it might have been the M17, which is old. Yeah, and that would make sense. Let's see. Although we think back then it would be. Oh yeah, see, yeah. So that's it. That's why I was confused. Okay, yeah, of known chemical and biological agents. Okay, so it wasn't. So they adapt. So the M17, yeah, 1959. You'd think that it would, but they're mostly worried about chemical and biological. That's what threw me off. Okay, so the M50 by today's standards is MBC rated. All right. Well, anyways, so that's not that important, but kind of like that. Maybe I don't know if they're selling M50s. Because it's cool. I like the look of it. I like the I like the duality, the symmetry style. Even though the Israeli one is symmetrical, I wanted to go with this anyways. Jesus Christ! What the fuck? They're that expensive? What is this? Avon? Why Avon? Hmm. How much is this fucking thing? Jeez, they're fucking expensive. 200 fucking dollars. That. Oh. All right. Well, anyways, yeah. So I'm not getting that. $200. Yeah. I mean, if you just want to, you're better off just buying on budget an Israeli gas mask because it's just the only thing about the Israeli gas masks you have to worry about is they're not going to nothing modern. So using it, ease of access, how long it lasts, you're still going to face those things, but it'll definitely get you by. You definitely could survive using that shit. The only thing is, the only difficulty, right? The gas mask itself is fine. Okay, if you bought an Israeli gas mask, okay, but the problem is by now there are a lot of knockoffs, but that's, something that you don't particularly have to worry about is finding a knockoff, although I mean it is possible. The biggest issue is finding filters. So, you need to find the filters for it. That's the only thing you'd have to worry about. By today's by is finding a filter that is still works, is brand new, and I think they make new filters. So that's really all you have to worry about, but it's really gas mask. I wonder if they have a new one. As in, like, if they ever came out with a new one. This one's still old. They still use the M15. Oh no, this looks a little more modern. Wait, no, that's the American, is it? M15. There's no Wikipedia page. Do you think there'd be a Wikipedia page on one of like the most popular, most common fucking gas masks ever? It's like the scene in movies, shows, like it's like that's when you think gas masks, this is what people see. They see the Israeli. Oh well. Little interesting tidbit, cool historical fact. I mean, all this gas mask comes from it lends itself back to the crow mask. And they call people the crow. Yeah. Back in, this is like the earliest form. It's pretty plague doctors. It's kind of fucking cool. And you can see how shit hasn't really changed. Like, it's still Pretty much the same. That's fucking cool. I'd want like a modern adaptation of that. I'd want like a if someone were to make a fucking like NBC mask but like look like that. That's fucking sick. But yeah, that's just a cool, interesting, historical little that's fucking awesome. The fucking crow mask. The plague doctor. It's like basically like the earliest form. This is where we get, modern gas masks from, which is cool. But if they would, it'd be cool if they could create one and fucking actually have it like with a filter and everything. It's fucking sick. Anyways, yeah, that's where these gas nuclear biological pretty cool. I don't know how effective they were. I think there was something like they weren't even really that effective back in the day. They actually like did more harm than good to the doctor. Like that they weren't like as effective. Anyways. Alrighty. Alright, well that's that for that video. Enjoy and have fun.